guys, today we're going to be learning how to make a Picasso face. You may or may not have already learned about the artist Pablo Picasso. If you haven't yet, you might after this, but we're going to be making this cubism Picasso face. Make sure your listening ears are on so you don't miss any of our directions. All right, so we are going to be making these Picasso faces. I'm going to give you directions and show you how to do it first, and then you're going to do it after the video. So right now you don't need to be touching materials or doing anything. You're just looking and listening so you know what to do. So this is a Picasso face or a cubism portrait. You might hear them said either way. A portrait is a drawing, painting, or picture of a person, right? And even though this one looks a little bit funny, it is still a drawing, painting, or picture of a person. It's in the style of something called cubism, which just kind of meant that artists looked at things from different angles and used a lot of different shapes and colors. So we're going to be making this cubism portrait. You're going to get a piece of project paper, and on your table you're also going to have this little paper for Picasso portraits or cubism portraits. It's going to show you step by step how to make your Picasso face, but it's also going to give you different shape ideas and show you what things look like. So you're going to start in pencil first. You're going to look at the directions that are on your table. You'll see number 1 says first draw your face shape. So you're going to look at the different face shapes and you're going to pick which one you want to draw. Remember, we are starting in pencil first. Once you've picked your face shape, and it's okay if it's a little different than this, once you've picked your face shape, then you're going to add a squiggly line down the middle. You can kind of turn it into a nose if you want, but you're going to add a squiggly line down the middle. Then you pick your facial features. So these are things like eyes, nose, mouth, and ears. So you follow these step-by-step directions to draw your portrait out in pencil first. Once you've drawn your Picasso portrait out in pencil and it looks something like this, using these directions, then it's time to take our crayons and go on top of every single pencil line. So you want to think about what colors you want to use for what parts of your portrait, and you're going to go on top of all of these lines using crayons. You can use as many different colors as you want and make it as creative as you want, but you want to make sure that you are covering up or going on top of every single pencil line with crayons. Once you've covered up all of your pencil lines with crayon, it'll look something like this. There might still be spots where you can see where your pencil is, and that's okay as long as there's crayon on top of that. Remember, for our crayons to wax resist, we have to make sure that it shows up on the paper well enough and we've pressed down hard enough, not super hard, but hard enough so that that crayon does not get covered up by paint. Once it looks like this, and you've drawn out your Picasso face, you've gone over it with crayons, then you're going to take a crayon one last time and you're going to find a spot anywhere on it to add your name. So even if you put it somewhere inside of your thing, you're going to find a spot on your paper to add your name. This way, if these go up on display, you can find yours easily and know whose it is. Once you've done all of these steps today, you're going to turn it into our turn-in tray that's on top of my colorful drawers. Double check that your name is on it somewhere before you turn it in, but once it looks like this, we're going to turn it in for the day. You'll notice that it's not colored in. That's because we're going to use paint later on a different day to finish our portraits. So right now it looks something like this, and then at the end it'll look something like this. So for today we are drawing our Picasso portrait out in pencil. We are outlining with crayons, adding our name, and then turning it into the turn-in tray. When you're completely finished, you can get a coloring page or free draw paper, or you may read a book at your table.